Hi, I'm Dee, and I have a book to read to you. Pinocchio and His Puppet Show Adventure. There was once a kind old man named Geppetto, and he lived in a little house with his goldfish Cleo and his cat Figaro. Another friend, Jiminy Cricket, lived in the house too. Geppetto could make wonderful things out of wood, and one day he made a puppet that looked just like a boy. He called the puppet Pinocchio. Oh, how I wish Pinocchio was a real boy. It would be fun to have a son. And a good fairy heard Geppetto's wish. That night she came to his house when everyone was sleeping. He touched Pinocchio with her wand. Suddenly, the little wooden puppet came to life. And what did Pinocchio do first? He tried to take Cleo out of the goldfish bowl.
No, no, Pinocchio,
cried Jiminy Cricket.
Put that fish right back.
The noise woke up Geppetto. He could not believe his eyes. There was his wooden puppet singing and dancing. The old man was so happy. He hugged Pinocchio. Oh, my son, my own little wooden son. Geppetto wanted to cook breakfast for Pinocchio, but there was nothing to eat. Let me go out and buy some food, father, said Pinocchio. My, what a good boy you are. And the old man gave Pinocchio some money and a list of things to buy. Jiminy Cricket was not so sure that Pinocchio was a good boy.
Well, I will just follow him and see.
Pinocchio walked happily down the street. He smiled at everybody. Everybody smiled at him. It was fun to be out in the big world by himself. Well, a boy named Lampwick was also out by himself. Lampwick was not a good boy. He told stories that were not true. He even stole things. And when Lampwick saw Pinocchio, he said,
"Aha, I bet I can trick that wooden head." Hi there, friend. What do you have there?
I have money. I am going to buy food.
Why not buy some candy? It tastes better. No, Pinocchio, don't listen to him.
Pinocchio paid no attention to Jiminy Cricket, and he followed Lampwick to the candy store.
Oh, where did you get so much money?
Asked the lady in the candy store. My father gave it to me.
To buy candy?
Yes, to buy candy. This was not true. Suddenly, Pinocchio's nose started to grow longer. He took his candy out of the store as fast as he could.
Hey, why don't you let me hold the bag?
Said Lampwick.
It'll be safer with me. I'm bigger.
And Pinocchio held out the bag of candy. To his surprise, Lampwick grabbed it and ran away. That was the end of the candy.
Well, what happened?
Asked Jiminy.
Where is all your father's money?
I lost it. Right away, his nose grew still longer.
You did not lose the money. You used it for candy. Well, at least take what is left and buy a little food for Geppetto.
As he walked toward home, Pinocchio held the bag of food in front of his face. He did not want anyone to see his long nose. Well, a sly, hungry fox and an old cat were hiding by the bridge.
Hey, look at that little wooden head, said the hungry cat. He has a sack of food. Hello, my fine lad. You look like just the sort of boy who might like to see a puppet show.
A puppet show? Oh, yes, I certainly would. How can I get in?
Well, I've got a ticket. If you give us your food, I will give you my ticket. This is your sack of food, isn't it?
Oh, yes, yes, it is. Another lie. His nose grew longer yet, but he didn't care. He had a ticket to the puppet show. A line of people were waiting to get into the puppet show, and they got mad at Pinocchio when he bumped him with his long nose.
Better not tell any more lies,
said Jiminy Cricket.
You already have too much nose for a puppet your size. Step right up,
called the man waiting at the ticket stand. Pinocchio stepped up. He gave the man his ticket.
Hey, this is no ticket. It's just a piece of paper. Go away, little boy, and take your long nose with you.
Poor Pinocchio. He had no money, no food, no ticket. He sat down on a box and began to cry. Just then, a man peeked out of the tent. The man was Stromboli, the puppet master.
My, a puppet without any strings? Can you do anything but cry, little puppet?
Oh, I can dance and I can sing.
Show me.
And Pinocchio danced, he sang, he turned cartwheels, he even stood on his head. Then Stromboli showed his puppets to Pinocchio. He pulled their strings and the puppets kicked their feet.
You don't need any strings. Come with us. You will be the star of our show.
No, Pinocchio. Don't listen to him. Go home to Geppetto,
said Jiminy. But Pinocchio did not want to go home. He wanted to be a star. The show started and Pinocchio began to dance. Look, no strings for me. Everybody cheered. But the other puppets did have strings. Pinocchio's long nose got caught in those strings. He crashed to the floor, and everybody started to laugh. Suddenly, Pinocchio was very unhappy. He did not like to have people laugh at him. I am not such a star after all. I want to go home to Geppetto.
Oh, no, you are not going home. You belong to me now. This birdcage will be my home, your home, my little long-nosed friend.
Help, let me out of this cage. But the puppets could not help. They could not move unless someone pulled their strings. Jiminy could not help either. He was too small, but he could get help. Jiminy ran quickly to Geppetto's house.
Geppetto, you must come save Pinocchio. Stromboli, the puppet master, has put him in a cage.
My poor little Pinocchio in a cage? And the old man followed Jiminy down the dark street. He was carrying a lantern in one hand. They found Pinocchio in his cage and Stromboli's tent. Don't worry, my son, I will help you. He opened the cage and lifted Pinocchio out. Suddenly, Stromboli came running.
Thief! That is my puppet!
Run, Pinocchio, run! And Pinocchio ran, Geppetto ran too, but the old man did not see the open trunk, and he fell into it.
Aha! Now I have you!
I will save you, father, I will save you. And quickly he went up a ladder to the place where the puppets were hanging. Pinocchio dropped his puppet strings and all onto Stromboli, and the puppet master could not move. Geppetto was safe. Oh, my good brave Pinocchio! And he hugged his little son, and fast as they could, Geppetto, Pinocchio, and Jiminy ran off toward home. As soon as they were safe at home, Geppetto took a good look at Pinocchio. Oh, what has happened to your nose, Pinocchio?
Now, tell him the truth.
This time Pinocchio did tell the truth. He told Geppetto about everything just as it happened. And while he talked, his nose got shorter and shorter. Finally, it was just the way Geppetto made it. Never again, Pinocchio decided, would he tell another lie. The end.